Good evening. Our speaker today is Mr. Dominique Reese. Mr. Dominique Reese is a graduate of Auburn High School from 2006, and he graduated Georgia Tech in 2010. He now resides in Atlanta, Georgia, with his wife, Christian, and his 3 sons. He has now started the first Amazon in the state of Alabama. Here is Mr. Dominique Reese.
Mic check. All right, so first I'll give a round of applause for everybody that performed. Give a round of applause to yourself for being on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. Somebody must have got a hold of Ms. Gentry because she reminded me 3 times that I only have 15 minutes to speak. So I'll make sure I stay within the time constraints, and I do understand I'm the only thing stopping you from starting your Super Bowl festivities. But forward, right? Your past does not define you. Right? So as I begin to chew on that today and spitball ideas with some of my family and friends, I was shocked to understand how splitting the perceptions were. So a lot of my friends did believe that your past could define you. I think the turning point for me and getting them to understand that it didn't was when we started looking at the different statistics, right? The only statistic that was an absolute was that if you're born, you will die. Everything else was weighed in one direction or the other. There was nothing that was absolute. So the only statistic is if you're born, you will die. Everything in between you can impact and you can change. Right? Similar to the skit where they said it starts now, right? For a lot of us, it started a couple generations back. And so I want to give you 3 meta points that we're going to talk through today to help you ensure that your past does not negatively impact your future. Right? The first one is owning your past. Right? Owning your past. A lot of times we'll say, hey, don't be a victim. That term we use in a negative tone. But for me, it's empowerment. Right? I don't care what happened. Right? Own it. Whether it was controllable or uncontrollable, it happened to you. Right? In the professional sense, we call it root cause analysis. Right? Get down to that defect. Peel the onion. Right? We'll call it 5 why analysis. We'll ask why 5 times. I know that sounds crazy, but it actually works. Right? And once you understand that defect, you understand that failure, you build up around it. Right? You build cadences and processes. You put mechanisms in place to provide visibility so it never happens again. We don't want to ever have that failure again. Right? I'm a senior regional leader in Amazon in Atlanta. So I own 1/3 of the delivery stations. Right? So I interact with tons of people. I hire a bunch of people. I got 1,100 hourly associates that report up to me. 50 exempt leaders, salary leaders that report up to me. Now imagine if I introduce myself like this. Hi, my name is Dominique Reese. I was born out of wedlock. Single parent home. Right? Brothers that in and out of incarceration. Right? Family members that struggle with substance abuse. Right? My dad did not want to be a part of my life. And that would sound crazy, right? Like this guy's accomplished all this stuff, why is he carrying it back? There's no Olympics for the saddest story. And nobody cares about that, right? All we care is about what did you do to get better, right? Outcast said it best. Spaceships don't come with rearview mirrors, they do. Right? Let's be honest. So before we get to that next level, I do want to take a minute to, the lights are on, I didn't see my mom before, but I do want to recognize Phyllis Jeter, who's my mom. She did go back and not only finish her undergrad, but got her master's as well. So you're talking about for sure that doesn't wear a cape. But the next phase, or the second phase, is measuring is success, right? You have to build your foundation, develop a new routine. So I'm gonna ask you a question. What's the first step to success? My forward team, what do y'all think? First step to success. Perseverance, that is a step for sure. What else? A vision, that's important.
The power of knowing that you can be successful.
Come on in. I like this age group. They're sharp. What I'm looking for is you have to understand how success is measured. Right? So we're all going to watch the Super Bowl tonight. Think about if we flip on to the Super Bowl and they removed all the scoreboards. Right? And there's nobody keeping score. But at the end of 60 minutes, they announce the winner. Like, I would be upset. Right? I don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to see a fair and impartial game. Right? In life, we have to have a scoreboard. And whatever we decide to do. Right? For me, during the holidays, it's called peak season. Y'all are ordering all the stuff that you want for Christmas. I'm the one that has to deal with it. Right? So during peak, we had to move 2 million packages through my building this week. Right? 2 million. Right? It's a lot of packages. We had not only move it, but we had to do it safely. We had to do it efficiently. We had to have high quality. We had to be customer obsessed. Right? So in every category of the subcategories where we created scoreboards. Why was the scoreboard important? Because I wasn't going to lose the entire day. I may lose a moment, right? We may lose an hour, and I could not allow my team to go the whole day not knowing whether they would win or lost. Right? So we have to keep that scoreboard in front of us. And I'll preface this, and I'm probably going to lose a bit of the audience, but it's okay. I'll be okay. I'm not a motivational speaker, right? There's a $1 billion industry right now for motivation speakers. I'm not one of those. Right? Motivation only lasts for so long. It's a stopgap. It's an interim fix. Right? This time of the year, I hate working out. Any guess why? Cold? It is cold in Atlanta, but I can move past that. What else? Gyms are packed. Who said that? Gyms are packed. Why? Because of the New Year's resolution. Like, we're going to get it in. Right? They're not going to build a bigger gym because we know that y'all not coming no more after April. Come on, man. Let's be honest. You're not going to come after April, right? You're going to miss a day or two in March. Right? A day turns into a week. And then Reese can have the equipment back again. Right? But you start to lose that motivation. Right? If you don't have accountability and discipline, you're forgotten about it. Right? A lot of people don't want accountability and discipline. Discipline is doing what you don't want to do to get the results that you desire. I know some people ahead, and it's okay. Right? Because success isn't easy. If it was, then it'd be 100 of me standing up here with you. Right? You have to be disciplined. You have to be willing to make sacrifices. I hire a lot of people, or try to, and they tell me, Reese, I'm not a morning person. Say what? my 3-year-old, he says, say what? I'm not a morning person. Right? Hey, dude, I really want to work the weekends, but I got to go to that Auburn University game. So you willing to lose your job to go watch somebody else do their job? Come on, man, make it make sense. Right? Like, sacrifices is what you have to be willing to do. Right? So I'm pretty young in my profession, right? A lot of my colleagues are 10 to 15 years older than me. It's like, Reese, man, your success was overnight. And I laugh, and I'm like, you're right, it was overnight. Right? But not in the sense that you're making it. Overnight because I worked 3 years on the graveyard shift. Right? Overnight because I worked 3 years with Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. Overnight because I moved 8 times in 10 years for different promotional opportunities. Right? I missed birthdays, holidays, events. Like, friends just stopped inviting me to stuff. Right? I lost a lot of friendships. They didn't understand my sacrifices. Right? In order to build that generational wealth that you're looking for, create that legacy that you're looking for, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. Right? You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Right? You can never grow being comfortable. There's a lot of forums that I stand in right now that I'm the only minority in there. You talk about uncomfortable, right? Not only am I a minority, but I come in with my hair like I want it. Right? Like, I walk in the room, I'm the same person when I leave. Like, I'm not changing or bowing my head down for anybody. Right? And it's okay because I know what I bring to the table. I know the return on investment that I bring. Right? But you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. Right? It's not easy. It's not easy. You'll take a couple losses. Right? But the problem is we only want to win or only can win when it's favorable for us. Right? We can only win when it's favorable for us. When we got home field advantage. When we're at home, when we know people that's going to support us. Right? This is my first time on Auburn High's campus because I lived away from home for 10 years. I just had to go out and get it. A lot of people say get it out of the mud. I got it out of the mud. I wasn't afraid to go and outwork whoever they put up against me. Right? I wasn't afraid to go and out-compete and be 2 times better than my white counterpart. This is what it is. Right? Nobody else here can tell you that, but I'm telling you, in the professional world, like, that's what it is. That's what you have to do. You have to start shaping your mindset to go out and win regardless of the cost. Right? I was the first African-American L7 leader at Amazon in that business unit that I'm in. I'm one of 7 right now in the entire network. Right? I'm gonna go break some more records soon, like it's gonna happen. Right? So the third and final step is creating legacy. Like y'all like, man, this man is crazy. He's talking that high school is about creating legacy. Right? Time is the only currency that we spend without knowing the balance. And I said, well, some of y'all had it again. That's okay. Right? Time is the only currency we spend without knowing the balance. So if I passed around a sheet of paper to everybody with your name on it, and the year that you were going to leave this earth, I guarantee you start living life a little bit different. Hey, you would sound like some of the older people in our family, or people that have been diagnosed with an ailment, and say, hey, I got to get my affairs in order. You better start getting your affairs in order right now. I'm looking at the forward team, right, because y'all did such an excellent job. Right, but I had no idea when I was 17, I committed to Georgia Tech, that I was going to be changing my life and creating a new legacy. Heck, I didn't even know that Georgia Tech was Georgia Institute of Technology until they called my caller ID one day. So, I'm already going to Georgia Tech, I don't need Georgia Institute of Technology card. That's a fact, right? But luckily I had people around me that understood the doors that would be open for me by taking that step. Right? The best time to plant a tree that you want to bear fruit is 20 years ago. Right? The next best time is right now. Right? So you have to start planting these seeds that you want to foster and bear fruit. I got a poem that I'm leaving you with. I'm wrapping up. I sound like a Southern Baptist. I'm wrapping up. It's nowhere near that poem that the young lady read before. That was truly remarkable. It goes like this. If you think you're beaten, you are. If you think you're not, you don't. If you like to win but think you can't, it's almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost, for out in the world we find. Success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You got to think high to rise. You got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles will always go to the stronger, faster man. But sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can.